What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's the 30th of April. We're taking a look here this morning at Aerodrome Finance and the US dollar pair. So this will be a Coinbase data daily chart on tradingview.com. Welcome to the channel, all of the subscribers, new and previous subscribers. Gained quite a bit of subscribers yesterday. So guys, welcome. We're taking a look at Aerodrome. What's going on here? Let's share some of my thoughts of what's taking place, potentially what could happen moving forward, guys. So we had some wild moves, some volatility to the downside. We have some further targets lower. We'll see. Talk about a potential bounce here, if and when. So let's get right into this here. So quick recap, if you are new here. So we had a level of support for Aerodrome. That level of support that we did not want to see broken to the downside was $1.36. That's this green line right here. You can see I have a red arrow over here pointing. That's just pointing to that area, that 136. Well, that area got broken very strong on the 27th. And we closed below it, and then we had some more follow through on the 28th as we turned that level into resistance. You can see the candle wicking up through it, closing below it, and then we've obviously had some follow through the past 2 days as well. So that is quite bearish. I was hoping for something. We got close actually on the 27th where we could trade through a level, put a big candle wick, and then actually close above it. That would have been quite bullish, but we didn't get that. We closed below it, and then the 3 days, 28th, 29th, and then today is the 30th of April, have all been red days to the downside. So I want to show you the importance of that level. We are currently about 22 to 23% lower than the $1.36 in 3 days. We're actually getting a little bit of a bounce here this morning. We'll talk about that. So we're call it 22% lower in 3 days. And that was my concern, that if the 136 level did not hold, one, that's not good for the bulls. It's actually beneficial for the bears. It's quite bearish. And the odds, I talked about the odds favoring downside to sideways price action over upside price action. And we're seeing that with a 22% down move. We were lower than that if you got onto the bottom of the range. A 22% down move in just 3 days. So that's why these levels that I share, at least I think they have they are pretty important anyway. So hopefully they can benefit you guys in one way or another. Maybe save you some headaches along the way here. So that's the 136 level. And we're down 22% from there. We'll see. It looks like these markets, the Aerodrome market, wants to rally. But, we're not near support, at least any support levels that I have. So we'll see about that. So next area of support on the chart is 85,200. So 85,200, 84,494. That's down here. And we also have one at 79,700. If you take notice, that also is right at the previous breakout zone back in this March time frame. So this was resistance back in here at the 85 to 84 level. All these candle wicks wicking up through that area, and then finally got a big breakout on the 24th. So the markets look like they want to pull back to that zone, turning it into a level of support. And it does line up quite well with 3 levels I have on my chart: 85,200, 84,494, 79,700, right in there. So what would that look like putting these markets down even further? You're looking at about another, we can call it a 20 to 25% move lower before we get to that support level. And like I said, we've seen 20+% in 3 days. So we could easily see these levels hit in another couple days here, if not sooner. No guarantees, but those are the levels I have, and that's what I'm watching for the price to move down to. Doesn't mean we won't see a bounce before we get there, but it's just the odds are favoring us getting down to those levels than they are not getting down to those levels. But like I said, we are seeing a little bit of a move off the lows yesterday as well as today. So there's some kind of important level here right around this. Let's see, our lows were 102, 103. Definitely a little bit of support coming in at that 103 level. We'll see if it can gain any momentum and maybe take the price up a little bit. But still, the odds are still favoring lower price action since we've traded and closed below 136. So we have that. We have a target way below the market for the head and shoulders we've spoke about in yesterday's video. So we had this left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder, and the neckline was just about at $1.36. The lower target for that topping pattern, that chart pattern, is way down here at 35 cents. So it's a huge move. I believe it was about $1.101 would have been the downside target. So, and you know, that is still not out the window, guys. That could still be hit. It could take some time, but it could be hit. And of course, the market conditions all have to line up. And it all starts with taking notice of bearish price action. And we got that when we closed below 136. Doesn't mean it's going to be a straight shot down, you know. It could be a stair-stepping pattern to the downside. You know, we could bounce a little bit. We could turn 128 into resistance, which I would not be surprised. That would not be uncommon. And then we start to trade lower down to 85. Maybe we get another bounce, you know, something like that. So it can take time, guys. But I just wanted to share the levels I have here on the chart. So let's do a quick recap. Before we get there, I actually want to mention that let's show you something about lows here on the chart. So today's price, which is the 30th of April, it's 4:25 a.m. on the East Coast. Today's low is 103.001. That is a new low for the day. Yesterday, the 29th, the low was 103.500. That was a new low for that day. We actually did not put in a new low on the 28th, but it didn't hold because on the 29th we did. So also, as we continue to make lower lows each day, that is not bullish at all. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We would like to see the market stop making lower lows. But so far, today and then yesterday are new lows for that day, the intraday. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait till tomorrow's candle opens up, which will be the 1st of May. May 1st, we need to see a higher low. That would be a good bullish start, but we'll see, guys. We want to talk about also, until we start to see the market stop making lower lows, then we can start to talk about the price actually moving higher. So it's one step at a time. At least it'll show us that, all right, the selling perhaps has dried up for a little bit. But right now, lower lows, not good. Definitely not good. So unfortunately, the prices are quite bearish right now. But according to the comments, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag. Some people are, you know, they're cost averaging down. Some people are getting hurt doing that. Some people have thrown in the towel. Some people are, you know, really aggressively buying the dip. And, you know, it's not financial advice. And, you know, who am I to tell you what to do? And I try not to do that. But when I see on the charts that we have at least a 20+% move lower until I would be comfortable for a support level. And then the ultimate pattern here telling us that, you know, from the 136 down there to 35 is, you know, basically $1.01. You know, buying the dip can be a long journey. But like I said, there is no saying that these markets won't start to bounce here. And if we do, you can see, like I said, we're have a decent little candle wick below the market. We'll see if it can gain any momentum and hold today. We could rally back up to 128. We're at 107 right now, and you know, that could we could rally back up there, and it could actually be flipped into resistance, and the markets could continue to roll over, maybe taking us back down to our or taking us down to our support levels down there, 85, 84, and 79. So there's a lot going on right now, but the key takeaway, all right, if you want one key takeaway from this chart, it went bearish 4 days ago. That's the key takeaway. Until it goes bullish, it's bearish right now. And I will tell you when I think the chart has gone bullish. One takeaway, this chart's bearish. It's been bearish for today will be the 4th day. Obviously, today's candle is still trading, so that could change, but it's going to take a lot for that to change. Chart's bearish. And that's the way, at least I see. And that's, you know, kind of what we're looking forward here. Of course, we're going to look for the markets to flip and go bullish, but right now they are not. And let's keep in mind, guys, so it doesn't matter to me if the markets go higher or lower. I'm just here to do the best I can of telling you what I think, you know, is going to happen moving forward. And if that's bullish, that's great. If it's bearish, that's great as well. Just to keep a reminder here that I am not a bear. I do have much higher price targets for Aerodrome. You know, right now up there to 285, 243, $1.83. You know, we have targets above the market, but we're trending lower right now. So these are not in play. The lower targets are in play for the time being. All right, guys. So today's if they really crush the markets, 85, 200, 84, 4, 94, even 79, 700 are all below the market, and they're about a 22% move, give or take, lower. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin looking quite bearish, unfortunately, at least today. And this obviously isn't going to help something like Aerodrome. So Bitcoin tried to get back above. We got a bunch of levels right here. 64,375, 64,123, 63,788, 35. That's these three levels. You could see we traded up. We actually put in some new highs, some new recent highs. That's actually good, but we're getting a pretty strong pushback. So there's definitely some supply above this market. So those are levels you want to see. I mean, you really want to see this market close above 64,375, which would be our purple line on the chart. But right now we're actually putting in looks like some new lows for the day. Potential support at 62,206. That's this yellow line on the chart. It'd be good not to take out yesterday's lows. That would be good. But yeah, right now, today's candle for Bitcoin is not bullish. It's looking quite bearish. On the other side of that, guys, we do have we're still in that middle zone here. We have the lower low, we have a lower high, but we have a higher low as of yesterday. So, you know, will this market print a higher high, or will this market continue to roll over and print a lower low? We're right in the center. We're right in that neutral zone. Which way is it going? It's make or break here. If we start to rally into higher highs, you can guarantee that we're going to see a very nice rally in Aerodrome. If we start to break 62,206.75 and take us back down to like 62,05.47, there's a good chance we're going to see Aerodrome really start to test those lower levels, which would be down in the, let's show you real quick before we wrap this up, like the 85,200 perhaps even like 79. So, hey, it is what it is, guys. There's times for accumulation. There's times for distribution. There's times for just sitting on your hands and having patience. And yeah, I always go into, I used to not do this, but the past couple years I have. Used to try to like go into a position, whether it's a short-term trade or a longer-term investment where you buy over time, just to kind of like know your risk, you know what you're putting in, know what you're willing to risk, know where you're getting out. You don't want to be there holding a position and just watching it drop, every single day. If that wasn't your 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 plan when you went into it. If your plan was to dollar cost average to the downside and hold it for X amount of years, that's different than a short-term trade that you're looking to make X amount of percent in a shorter period of time, and it's not working out. You got to have an exit plan. At least that's the way I look at it. Guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Aerodrome. Right now, it's looking like the markets want to bounce a little bit, but we don't have support until down there at 85 to 100. Something I want to show you here is if we took the fibs and threw them on the $1.36 up to the highs here, the fibs tell us that there is some potential support at 96 right in here, which isn't too much further below the market. So if we took that potential support about 10% lower from where the price is, around 96,405 roughly. So something to keep an eye on for what that's worth. Guys, if you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do so. Turn the bell on to be notified when I upload these videos. Thanks for being a subscriber. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. You guys have a great Tuesday, the end of April. Where are these markets going? What do you think? You think Bitcoin's going to roll over? Do you think it's getting ready to go bullish? Where do you think Aerodrome's going? What's your price targets for Aerodrome? Let me know down in the comments. Guys, take care.